Hey, what's up guys? It's Tony with Rumbler Weightlifting, and I wanted to make this video to explain to you how this spreadsheet works and how you can get the most out of it. Now, I've uploaded this to a couple different web forums and it's on Facebook, and this is how I program for my weightlifting athletes. Now, this is obviously set up how I like to do things, but this is a very powerful spreadsheet, and it could be easily customized to fit your needs, okay? So, I use a Soviet style of programming, and which is where you take a monthly amount of reps, and everything is kind of based on the amount of reps you're doing per month, all right? So, this is just an example spreadsheet. This isn't indicative of how any particular athlete should train based on these numbers or anything like that. This is all just for demonstration. So you see right here we have the total amount of monthly reps, 1,250. Now, the way I like to break it down, I program 4 weeks at a time. So the first week is going to get 30% of those reps. So if you see here, week 1, 375 reps, all that's doing is it's taking the number in cell C2 and multiplying it by 0.3. So I give the first week of a cycle 30% of the reps. The second week I give 25% of the reps. Week 3 is back to 30%, so weeks 1 and 3 are the same. And then week 4 is like a deload week with 15% of the reps, okay? Now daily, I break it down like this. 18% on day 1, day 2 is 17%, 13%, 18%, 22%, and 12% on day 6. So again, day 6 is like a deload day. If you look here, this is a week-to-week breakdown of the reps based on exercise. So we snatch or do some snatch variation, clean and jerk, or clean and jerk variation, squat, and pull on every single workout. And again, this is just how I like to do it. So here, 30% of the reps for day 1 go to snatch, 30% go to clean and jerk, 25% go to squat, 15% go to pulls. So on day 1 on snatch, you're doing 20 reps. Day 2, you do 19. Day 3 is 15. Day 4 is 20 again. Days 4 and 1 are the same. Day 5, 25 reps. That's usually when we go the heaviest. And then day 4, 14 reps for snatch. So you could change this number any way you'd like. So if I want to do 35% of my reps are attributed to my snatch because maybe I really suck at snatch, I need the extra technique work, more volume in that lift to get better at it, change that. Now these numbers automatically update, okay? Let's say I'm a more advanced lifter and I need more than 1,200 reps a month. Maybe I want to do 1,500 reps a month. Change that number. Boom, the whole spreadsheet updates. So now this automatically calculates. Now if you want your week-to-week rep breakdown to be the same per lift or per exercise, you do have to manually go through and change these. So you see here I changed this to 35%, and this is still 30, obviously. I have to go through and manually change that if I want that to be different, okay? Last thing on this sheet, over here, snatch, clean and jerk, back squat, front squat, pretty much the 4 lifts that all percentages and variations are based off of. I have the max. Let's say this lifter snatches 140, clean and jerks 170, back squats 250, and front squats 225. So I plug in all those numbers here. Now, the reason these are important, skip over to week 1 here. Snatch from blocks, 70% equals 98 kilos. The spreadsheet reads that this is a snatch variation. I manually put in the percentage I want, and it automatically calculates what that is in kilos. So if I want this to be 60% instead of 75, change that to 60, automatically calculates the 60% to be 84 kilos based off of this number right here. So let's say this person only snatches 120 kilos, change that, go back over here, again it's automatically updated, alright? Now, let's just say I don't want them to snatch first. Let's say I want them to do clean from the blocks. Type in clean from blocks. Spreadsheet reads that this is now a clean exercise. Okay, now it's pulling from our clean max, which is 170. So, anytime you see these zeros, that means the formula is in place. So you can type in any snatch variation, any clean jerk or clean and jerk variation, any squat variation, front or back, or any pull variation, and it will automatically know where to pull the numbers from. Now, where there's not any zeros, there's no formula. So these are just blank cells, okay? And the reason I have this is because we do a lot of accessory exercises for general strength. So pull-ups, you're not going to base a pull-up off of a max of any other lift. So here I'm just going to prescribe, sets and reps. Same thing with something like a SOTS press or a military press. I might not prescribe a percentage of anything. So I would just say, okay, you're going to do 5 sets of 3 on a SOTS press, and the weight used, I'll leave that up to my athlete to determine what's a challenging weight for that. I do like to touch base with them time to time just to make sure that they are, getting stronger in those lifts and they're not sandbagging and just making it too easy on themselves. So over here on the far right, you see ARI, AI, and tonnage. If you're not familiar with what this is, ARI is the average relative intensity. Basically, what's the intensity, what's the percentage that you're working at on average? So it's taking all these numbers and calculating an average expressed in a percentage. Average absolute intensity is the same thing, but it's expressed in kilos, okay? So if I have two lifters, one that snatches 100 kilos and one that snatches 150, if I gave them the same program, their average relative intensity would be the same percentage-wise, but the average absolute intensity would be different because their 70 and 75 and 80% is all different because they have different maxes. Tonnage is just the total weight lifted. So this is per exercise, okay? So this here, it just goes right over here and tells you what the averages are for whatever you have on this row. So your cleans, I have 2 cleans here now because I changed that. Back squat, average relative intensity, pull, average relative intensity. Now here in the bold, what this is a daily total. Now you see down here, this is all a bunch of gibberish. This will update once you start filling in these fields. So let's say, we're going to do a power snatch and a hang snatch on day 2. Let's say we're going to do 80%. For 5 sets of 3. Okay, now that I put something in here, this automatically updates, okay? Down the very bottom, there is a weekly total. Again, we'll not have any numbers here until all of these are filled out. Now, this is really cool because you should be paying attention to, is the average relative intensity going up or going down? Is it staying the same? You should have a pretty firm grasp on that as you program, in my opinion. You can write a program out by hand and on paper it looks great, but it's a total pain in the ass to sit there and do the math to figure out what your averages are and what the tonnage is. This spreadsheet takes out all the guesswork. It does all the calculations for you. And let's say I was aiming for 75% on snatch. Okay, well here I have 77%, so that tells me that I need to dial back somewhere. So maybe instead of going up to 85%, I'm going to dial this back to 83. Okay, how's that change? All right, that only brought me down 1%. So instead of doing 4 sets there, maybe I'll do 3. And okay, now I'm right where I need to be for my 75%. So that's basically how the spreadsheet works. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to snatch and clean and jerk on the same day. That's fine. You could easily just take out one of these rows, just delete it, and just program it in how you want. Same thing with this meso page. If you didn't want to do 6 days a week, you get rid of this 6th day, just delete this, and then take whatever's left over for the percentages and just spread it out over 5 days. Obviously, the fewer days a week you're training, it's going to make it harder to do a higher volume program because then you're going to be doing a ton of reps each day. So you might have to bring this down to 800. So, like I said, you can change this any way that you want and make it totally customizable. So we're putting these up on the web for free. The only thing we're asking is that you guys go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Rumbler Weightlifting, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Rumbler Productions. If there's anything you want this spreadsheet to do, if you have a good idea that you think would be helpful, let us know. We'll make a change. We're going to keep adding to these spreadsheets, and I'll keep uploading the newer versions for you guys. So please let me know if you have any comments, questions, or critiques. Thanks a lot.